Hey guys, welcome back to my channel.
K-O-R-A.
Today we're making omu rice. Oh. We have my leftover rice. It's 2 days old, so it's good. Vegetable oil and everything else we're gonna need. Okay, so you're gonna come along with me, and we're gonna make this. Now come on. Okay, so first step you wanna do is you wanna turn it on medium heat. Closer.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
Okay, next step, you grab your wok, set it down. So, since we just turned it on, now we're going to let it get a little harder, because then what we're going to do, and then we get our vegetable oil, and we just pour it out a little, and we're just going to sprinkle it on. Ooh, I think that. No, okay, yeah, I am doing the right steps. I just had to remember. I put a little too much, but I'm sure it's fine. My hands are covered. That's why you always want a good napkin. Get all of those hairs all over your hand. Really just... Now, so what we're waiting is, we're just gonna, since I have a little bit extra, we're just gonna really just spread it around. Okay, so while that's cooking, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start preparing the eggs. Okay, so now I got my eggs and we're gonna start beating them. Just like a normal, oh, I choked on them. Hey! Okay, so what you don't want is your eggs to start rolling off and then smash into the ground, because then you have a mess. So you put your eggs somewhere. For me, I'm setting it on the lamp. I'm just gonna set those down, and you can't see it, but you got the oil just splashing around. Yeah, just all over there. Ooh. We're gonna bring our egg carton over here so we can crack our eggshells into that. Ah, oh, perfect. So, okay, so now we just want to beat a few more of the eggs in. I'm gonna do about 3. Ooh, don't want to get any of that eggshell in there, so you flip it around to the other side, snap it in half. Ooh, there's a little eggshell in there. What you can do is you can just use the other eggshell and struggle to pick it up. I said struggle. There we go. Okay. Okay, one more. I was using the wrong eggs, but it's fine. And just separate that without the eggshell, obviously. You don't want to eat the eggshell. Now, I'll be back in 1 second. I'm going to wash my hands and get it close up. A little closer. Okay, so back to where we were. So you just want to get your egg sticks, or as I like to call them, chopped sticks. You beat those eggs and just, as long as you don't spill, you're perfectly fine. And you just really get it in there. I'm gonna close these eggs up and not drop all of them. And back we go. Okay, so that should just be about done. So we're gonna bring this nightmare fuel. Now we're gonna take this, we're just gonna lightly pour it all in apparently. Get that in there. And now, bring our lamp. Now, if you look at that, you can see that it's all just nicely mixed up now. So, we're just gonna basically just be blending it in. And that's just how that's done. But, of course, you also want to add your vegetables and rice around this step. So, what I'm actually going to do is we're going to cut over to those, and I will show you how to do those real quick. Okay, so now we're going to start preparing our other stuff. So we want just a couple of these. We're mainly going to be using the stems, but I'll probably just be using the stems mainly. We got some corn, some peas, we have some carrots, some bell peppers, and then garlic, if I already said that. Oh well. We also have soy sauce and red pepper flakes. Just grab one of them. Now we're going to get my knife. Once I remember where it's at. Now normally, I would use a nice flat edge, but this is a jagged edge. But I'm too lazy to grab a new one, so we're going to do this. Now, you always want to curl your fingers so you don't accidentally chop them off. Yeah, you don't want to lose your fingers just yet. You kind of still need those. So, you just want to chop them off. And now, if any of y'all are wondering why I'm wearing this, it's because I'm a culinary student. Which probably explains why I'm making a cooking video. And definitely not because I hate myself. Okay, and you just want to cut off the stem. You can't eat the stem very well. You just want to go at that. We're just going to add some onions. There we go. Usually you want to use a cutting board, but I don't know where mine is, and it's too small to use anyways. And of course, you want to make sure to peel your onions beforehand. I did not because I forgot, but hey, that's what learning is about. You take what you know from the future, and you toss it away. Okay, so now we're just ripping off some of the skin off of this thick stem. Sorry. And we're just gonna put the trash off to the side with all the other trash. Just like your room, full of trash and misery. And you just want to cut all of that. And there we go. And that should be all the onions we really need. If it separates, of course. Oh. And now, of course, for the main body, what you just want to do, since it's pretty thick, so we'll just slice that up some more. And we're just kind of going to dice it. There we go. That should be good. Missed a piece. And you just slice it off. Bring that in. And of course, you want to make sure that you clean the area before. But if you don't, you can always eat the dirt. It'll clean itself off in your stomach. We got a little too much onion, so we'll just separate it. There we go. Just like modern day. And now we're going to focus on the garlic. Now, you just want to rip that open. Just spread it. Oh. And you just want to get one of the cloves, just like that. Now, of course, you want to just separate all the trash away from itself. You don't want to eat the skin too much. You just want the clove. Now, we just have the clove. Hang on. Now, for garlic, the best way to do it, well, there's different ways, but me personally, the best way is you just want to use the flat edge of your knife. Well, not flat edge, but the flat part. You just want to kind of just bash it down, okay? So we're going to do that. So we're going to use a new piece of garlic. Oh, we got this nice and cleaned out, if you can see that. And you could probably use this as a cup or something, but we're not going to. And if you see these little scores down here, what we can do is we can just go along those, avoiding the fingers, of course. Okay, just like that, normally. And I'm sure there's a proper way to do this, I just don't remember it. So I'm just going to go along, I'm just going to cut it nice and, oh, I almost hit my fingers. That's why you curl the fingers. It's better to chop off a knuckle than a fingertip. Now just, okay, just like that. We're just gonna kind of be cubing these, just because we're gonna be throwing them in. You don't really want to have too big of a chunk, otherwise it's not gonna taste very good. Though this is already a weird enough fried rice as it is. So we'll throw that in a pile. Oh, I'm gonna make this video traumatizing. Okay, so now we have our baby carrots. So we're just gonna chop these up. Obviously you can get some cut carrots. I'm just doing it fresh. So we're just gonna do that. And try to avoid the fingers. God, I hate cutting carrots. Just like that. And move them on into the pile. There we go. We're all going to put this in there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna be adding our leftover rice. And you just wanna pop it open. And if you just look at that nice, beautiful rice. Ow! All that nice, beautiful rice. Okay, now we're just gonna pour it in. Yep, all of that. Yep, really just brings out that starch. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna start breaking this up. There we go. We're just gonna keep mixing those eggs at the bottom. I probably should let them cook a little longer, but it's just fine. And you just wanna crumble those nice and up. There we go. We're just gonna start doing this. And if you look casually, you can see all that just breaking up and being real nice and not a pain at all to cook. There we go. And now what we're going to start doing is we're going to add our vegetables. And now you just want to kind of push them in little by little until it's all in there. Do I sound like a dying horse? Yes, I do. Do I care? A little bit. Now, our next step is just mix this in a little bit more. There we go. This is probably the first time this wok has actually ever been used for the right purpose. Ooh. I thought that was chicken for some reason. It was not. So we got some soy sauce here, some of our red pepper flakes, and of course some more vegetable oil, which I will actually pour a little bit more of into. Just a tiny bit, like that. And then we can just set it off. Now our red peppers. You don't want to add too much of these. You just, okay. Now you don't want to add too many of these, so we're just gonna, oh, it's fine. It'll just be an exotic taste. Now, what you want to do is you want to add some soy sauce. That's how you get that nice brown, rich rice color. You just pour that in, nice and all in there. Is this too much? We'll see. Now close that up, and you just start stirring that rice in there. Is there any other steps I'm missing? Probably. We'll see when it's done. Okay. So, we're just gonna keep doing this. Oh, of course you want to add some salt and pepper. Now, salt. Now pepper. Now salt. There we go. We can just close these up, put them back where they came from. Will I have a big mess to clean up after this? Absolutely. Do I care? We'll see. Now you just want to mix this all in together. Did I add too much salt and pepper? Probably.
I call it a flashbang.
Now just mix this in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little more, because if you look at the coloring right there, it's not very bright. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a few more bits of soy sauce. Now we're just gonna lavishly marinate it. Oh yeah, look at that. And we'll just mix that in more. Oh, there we go. You want to add some corn. That should be pretty good on the corn. Now, we want to add some green beans. You just want to figure out how to open this. And you just pour some of those in. Wait, these are sweet peas. You just want to stir this in. Decline. So now it's technically an official fried rice. And it will taste great. Hopefully. Just mix that in. And of course, season to taste. Or vegetable to taste as well. I add a little too much, but it's just fine. Okay, so now we're going to add our eggs. Because now we're working on the actual omelet part. Now that our fried rice is done, we're going to crack it, pull it back, reveal that beautiful egg. Beautiful. Now we're going to get our second one. We're doing about 2 eggs per. You want to just split it and make sure you don't get any of that eggshell on there. And just crack it open. There we go. And of course, you want to inspect it. Make sure you didn't get anything in there. Doesn't look like anything's in there. So now we're just gonna beat that egg. And usually, whenever you pour the eggs, you can add some salt and pepper. But me personally, I'm not going to do that since the fried rice itself already has a little too much. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to butter up our... Now, we're cooking it real nice. Around the world, around the... canceled. Okay, and just put up your butter for later. There we go. And now, just make sure we get those eggs again. There we go. Put this back. And we're going to gently pour in our eggs. There we go. And now, this is going to cook pretty fast, so I'm going to put it off to the side. Lower the heat a little more. Yeah, you just want to blend that in nicely. You just want to make sure you get all in those folds. There we go. Yep, if you just look right there, watch it just fold in, and I'll just let it sit a tiny bit, and it should start just breaking down and circling up. You just want to go around the edges, make sure that it's not sticking. Let it sit a little bit longer, start folding it in. There we go. Take it off every now and then. You don't want the heat to be too much. Actually, I'll just lift it. Switch to the big boy. You just want to fold that in. Kind of go under there. Just make sure it's not sticking. And just take that off the heat. In fact, I will just turn off the heat. If you look at that, it's still gooey on the inside. And we are just folding it in. Just folding. This is not the proper way to do it, but it works occasionally. We are just going underneath that egg. This will probably be a delicate task. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now that I have that in that pocket, I will very carefully Nice and beautiful. Oh yeah, it looks real good. Oh yeah. Since it's a smaller omelet, I'll just do a small amount of rice. Unfortunately, it seems that this pan stuck to it too well. Tastes very good though. And you just want to massage that egg on out of there. Oh yeah, just like that. Yeah, that looks beautiful. And not like a mistake born from life. For the video. And of course, just like any delicacy, it's all about presentation. Now we're gonna get our large knife and we're just gonna slit it on down. This is disastrous. And just like how it was planning, it's spread on out onto that egg. Perfectly on its own. Yep, just like that. See how well it's spread out on that? It looks perfect. And of course you add a little bit of salt and pepper. A little bit of salt. I am not twisting it. And pepper. Just sprinkle that on. Sprinkle that on. And if you look at that, nice, beautiful, definitely edible, I hope. Okay, so as you can see, it's nice, definitely edible. We'll see. Yeah, and then we'll just get a taste of it, you know? Just get a nice, large bite. This is great. Yeah. So, I would definitely, highly recommend this to not be eaten by you. Do not ever try this, especially my recipe. Don't.